the Detroit Lions once again throw up 50 points and absolutely dismantle the Jacksonville Jaguars on my birthday as well. Today is my birthday, so thank God the Lions won, and they did it in a great fashion. Now, I will be saying this as well. If I don't put any videos out during the week, I am going to Indianapolis next week to watch the Lions game. So there might not, if there's no videos this week, and the next video won't be put out till Monday, I'm not gonna make it on the day back, obviously. Then that is the reason why. So there's a chance I won't be making a video until next Monday, but I probably will be making a video as the Lions probably will make a move, as I will be talking about an injury that happened, and we need to get somebody. And I'll just put that out there right now. Alex Hazelline did get hurt. He got hurt with a wrist injury, I want to say. It's something like that. Matter of fact, let me just pull it up here real quick. Dan Campbell said he's going to be out 6 to 8 weeks, which is the remainder of the regular season. He probably will be back for the playoffs. However, that's still up in the air. So while that's loading, let's go over the stats here real quick. Lions dismantled Jags 52-6. Jags fall to 2-9. Doug Peterson is probably going to get fired tomorrow or Tuesday. He said in his press conference, whatever happens, so he pretty much just expects to get fired. Lions head to 9-1, still ahead of the NFC. The Chiefs are facing the Bills today. Obviously, the Bills are the much better team right now. And I believe when the last time I checked when I'm making this video, Bills are winning. So even if, I believe from how all the record system works and all that in the NFL, even if the Chiefs do lose, they will still be number one in the NFL in terms of record, because it goes off of their opponents' win percentage, I believe, and obviously the Bills are a better team in terms of win percentage right now, and just overall than the Tampa Bay Bucs. So we'll still not be the number one team in the NFL, even if the Chiefs do lose this game. However, we still are the best team in the league, no question. Player stats here. Jared Goff, 24 for 29, 412, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. He bounced back in a great fashion. Now he's back in the MVP conversation. I still don't think he gets voted MVP, just because Lamar's been playing out of his mind, and Derrick Henry, of course, but he's still up there, in my opinion, 3rd or 4th in the MVP race. If he has another game like this, he'll be right behind Lamar for sure. But what a way to bounce back. I believe that is either his first or second game with over 400 passing yards as a Detroit Lion, and that's crazy. I haven't seen anybody put this out there yet. But this is the second. We had Kevin Harlan, who was the announcer today, last year versus the Broncos. I don't know how many yards Goff threw for. I think it was 3-something. But he threw for 5 touchdowns, which was a career high in the game for Jared Goff as a Detroit Lion. And we had Kevin Harlan today, and he threw for over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. We've had Kevin Harlan twice in the past 2 years, and in those games, Jared Goff has thrown for 9 touchdowns to 0 interceptions and probably around 750 to 800 passing yards. So, let's get Kevin Harlan every week. Great announcer. Jared Goff plays amazing when we get him. Let's get him every week. Hendon Hooker came in, had 3 for 4, 37 yards. He looked pretty good while he was out there. Montgomery led the rushing, 15 for 75, 5 yards a bump, 2 touchdowns. Looks like beast mode out there every time. Breaking a lot of tackles today. Gibbs, 11 for 69, 6.3 a carry, 1 touchdown. He, I believe, is number 1 in the NFL for average yards per carry with a certain amount of attempts right now. Jared Goff, this is crazy, had 4 for 21. That averages 5.2 yards per carry. Jared Goff, he looked like Lamar today, let's be real. He looked unbelievable while he was running the football. Craig Reynolds came in while we were beating down the Jags. He had 2 carries for 21, had a really nice run. Stealing back, even though the stats might not pressure here, he had a very nice day. On a run, he lost like 3 yards. That's why this got brought down, but he had a very nice run or 2 in there. So he looked pretty good out there, even though the stats don't show it. St. Brown was phenomenal in the receiving game today. 11 receptions, which is a season high. 161 yards, season high. 2 touchdowns, season high. I believe that is one of his first games as a Detroit Lion with 2 touchdowns. And I believe that is one of his first games with over 160 receiving yards as well. So shout out to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Probably jumping way up in the receiver rankings now in terms of yardage and receptions. He was already high in receptions, but he's going to jump way up in terms of yardage now. Jameson Williams had another great day like he did last week. 4 for 124 and a touchdown. He did a beast mode touchdown celebration was really cool. Just out to Jameson Williams, starting to pick up that first round bust, what people say. I never thought he was, but he's finally starting to prove those haters wrong. Jahmyr Gibbs had a big 54-yard catch. I thought he was going to take it to the house. He got tackled on a shoestring tackle, unfortunately. But he almost had another breakaway touchdown. This one on a reception. Khalif Raymond had 2 for 30, and when Hooker came in, Tim Patrick had a very solid day, 3 for 26, made a nice catch on 4th down. Shane Zylstra had 1 reception for 22 yards. He actually got hurt late in the game with a neck injury. I don't know if he came back in or not, so that's something to watch, because the only other tight end behind him that we have is James Mitchell. Got all the way up the practice squad today, didn't do anything besides block. But so we could bring back another tight end if this could be serious. So that's something minor. Montgomery's good in the receiving game. Allen Robinson had a second catch. The Detroit line did take a big hit, but it looks like it's just going to be a concussion. It looks like he'll be all right. Brock Wright had a catch for a touchdown. That's his second of the year. Defensive side of the ball, we played very well. Of course, only allowed him to 6 points. Brian Branch had 5 tackles, and we led the team last week with 10. He had 5 tackles today. Jack Campbell had half a sack. Corey Joseph had a pick, making him the number 1 safety or number 1 defense or number 1 player in the league in interceptions right now. That brings him up to 7 on the season. The last time we had a player with the last player who had the most interceptions in the Detroit Lions was Amani Oruwariye back in 2021, I want to say, when he had 6 interceptions. And we're barely halfway through the season, and Kirby Joseph has already broken that with 7, and he is the number 1 player in the NFL right now in interceptions. So shout out to Kirby Joseph. The half a sack Jack Campbell got, unfortunately. Zadarius Smith also had a half a sack. We only got 1 on the day if you combine them. Unfortunately, it should have been Zadarius Smith should have got credit a full sack. They only gave him a half a sack. They apparently thought Jack Campbell also got there. So that's kind of unfortunate, but it is what it is. And Zadarius Smith making his debut. I thought he looked pretty solid out there. Got a couple pressures. I do want to talk about James Houston as well. James Houston didn't play as good today as I thought he has been playing these past 2 or 3 games. But he did get a couple pressures. Should have got another sack today. He can't bring the quarterback down, man. He's getting past the offensive line, but he can't get to the quarterback, or he just can't bring the quarterback down. Like if he could actually get to the quarterback or bring the quarterback down, he would probably have 5, 6, maybe 7 sacks for the season right now. So he's still playing very, very well. Al-Quaiden Muhammad was in a healthy scratch today, so that's something to monitor if he could potentially get cut here soon and just be brought back to the practice squad. So that was interesting to me. Ben Neiman had to come in as Alex Anzalone. Like I said, went down with an injury where he's going to be at 6 to 8 weeks. I can pull this up before I forget about it, which is very unfortunate. So in my opinion, we're definitely going to be looking to bring in a linebacker this week. I know Deion Jones out there. I think Jared Davis. Go watch the video if you haven't. It's done very well. Jared Davis potentially could be returning back to Detroit. Shaq Leonard still out there. That's my number 1 option now, in my opinion. He's more of an outside linebacker, but he can play inside linebacker. I believe he was an inside linebacker with the Colts, or with the Eagles. So you never know. This is according to Aaron Merov. Lions starting linebacker Alex Anzalone broke his forearm today versus Jacksonville and will be out 6 to 8 weeks. That is horrible. He said it was broke. Alex Anzalone knew immediately it was broke, kind of like the Hutch situation. Hutch immediately knew it was broke, so did Alex Anzalone. So that's unfortunate. Most likely will miss the remainder of the season. However, he most likely will return for the playoffs. But we got to start looking at linebackers now. I just made a video about every linebacker that is available. You know, like, again, the highlights is Jared Davis, Deion Jones, Shaq Leonard, and there's another guy out there that I'm forgetting as well. But I know we just signed Ezekiel Turner, the 53-man roster yesterday. Of course, got Bull playing on the practice squad, but we're definitely going to bring in a guy this week, whether that's practice squad or that's 53-man roster. And the only 53-man roster linebacker that, you know, would make sense to go on 53-man roster immediately would be Shaq Leonard. So, again, in terms of if a linebacker gets cut this week or waived, they're not going to fall to us because they have to be waived. Every player from now on has to be waived. They have to go through waivers. We're at 31 in the waiver wire right now, so nobody's going to fall to us. So we're going to have to just rely on free agents that are already available right now, which is, again, the guys I just mentioned. Jake Bates made a 54-yard field goal today. He is still 100% in terms of field goals on the year, and has only still missed one extra point on the year. He's been phenomenal. Look at the team stats here real quick, and then we'll wrap the video up. Total yards was 170 for the Jags. That's got to be a season low for the Jags and for the Lions defense allowing. Probably, honestly, with Aaron Glenn in general. Total yards for the Lions is 645. That's like our highest of all time, I think is what they said. And that's 9th in NFL history. Unbelievable. Passing yards, Jones only threw for 129. Hooker and Goff threw for 449. Rushing yards, we only allowed 41. Our run defense is so good. Wow. We got 196 yards per play. They only had 3.6. Wow. To 8.5 to ours. First downs, they had 10 to our 38. Wow. We almost tripled them. Or we did triple them. We almost quadrupled them. Wow. Third down efficiency. They only converted 2 third downs. They went 2 for 10. We went 6 for 10. They had fourth down efficiency for them. They went 1 for 2. We went 3 for 3. Total plays, they had 47 to our 76. They allowed 1 sack. We didn't allow any sacks. That is now back-to-back weeks where the Lions' offensive line has not allowed any sacks. So shout out to the Lions' offensive line, the best offensive line in the league. Jaguars had to punt 5 times. Jack Fox, best punter in the league, one of the best punters in the league, did not have to punt any times again. So shout out to Jack Fox. Did have to hold, but, Jack Fox continued Jack Fox things by not doing anything. But I do want to shout out Logan Cook for the Jaguars. Fantastic punter, had a fantastic day today. The ball was in the air a lot. Punted, had a lot of good net average. So shout out to Logan Cook. That was like their only player that was like, oh yeah, this guy had a fantastic day for them. Penalties, yards, 6 for 40 for the Jags, only 4 for 46 for us. All those penalties, I believe, came in the second half. Well, Ollie McNeil had a 15-yard penalty in the last play of the first half. But all the other 3 penalties came in the second half. Fumbles lost 0-0. Interceptions thrown. Jones threw 1. We threw 0. Time of possession, they had 20 minutes and 54 seconds to 39 minutes and 6 seconds for the Detroit Lions. So, the Detroit Lions absolutely dismantle. Once again, the Jacksonville Jaguars 52-6. We scored 52 points against the Titans. And again, I thought this was going to be like the Titans game. I wasn't concerned about this game at all. I think this is what I am with the Jaguars and Titans. They have a lot of good players on their team, both teams, but they just can't play good. I mean, that's just simply what it is. Jags got so many good pieces on their team. Trevor Lawrence, even though I don't think he's the best quarterback, he's still okay. They got probably the best edge rusher duo in the league now since Zadarius Smith and Myles Garrett are not on the same team anymore. And Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen not including. They also got Eric Armstead. They got a good receiving core when healthy. Gabe Davis, Brian Thomas, Christian Kirk. Now, unfortunately, they did lose Christian Kirk for the season. Looks like they might be losing Gabe Davis for the season, as it looks like he might have suffered a torn Achilles in this game. And Brian Thomas also got hurt during this game, which means their only weapon left, essentially, would be Evan Ingram. So, that sucks for them. They got a good time, like 7 and Evan Ingram. They got an underrated offensive line, even though they don't have Cam Robinson anymore. So, they got talented pieces there. They just can't win football games. Kind of like us with a couple years with, I would say the first year or two with Patricia. First year at least, we had a good team, and we just couldn't win. So that's what it is for me with the Jags and Titans, but we'd absolutely dismantle them. This was probably our most complete game of the year. I guess you can say Titans. I would say Titans was our most complete game of the year, but you could argue this as well. We face the Colts next week at Indy. Once again, I will not be here. I will be in Indianapolis to watch the game. See who we get. Anthony Richardson and Joe Flacco. Probably Anthony Richardson. Probably honestly rather had Joe Flacco, even though he's my guy. Really like Joe Flacco. Think he's extremely underrated. One of the best backup quarterbacks, if not the best backup quarterback in the league. But Anthony Richardson can kill us with their legs. So we'll see. One pride to go Lions. We are on an 8-game winning streak, our best since 1934. See if we can keep that alive. Getting potentially 10 wins on the season and moving our win streak to 9. next week against the Colts. So, one pride, go Lions. Now, Bills. Let's get this win, Bills. Get this win, man.